Okay, what is going on? LBHT crew B. We're on time.
We're always on time. I keep explaining this to you. Whenever we get here is when the show starts.
This is a fact. Literally, that's a fact.
Right.
Listen, y'all, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio form of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave a 5-star review because we are trying to grow on that side of things. And people are already here in the chat. Our guy Bazel is always here first. Almost always here first, but he's here first today. What's going on, Bazel? Salute to you. We got Jay the 6 in the house, says howdy. Howdy, Jay the 6. Big E3 says hello. What's going on, Rave Kingdom? That's what he used to be known by. The artist formerly known as Rave Kingdom is in the house. Shaheen is in the house. What's up, guys? What's up, Shaheen? Thanks for coming through. Just Aloe says hello, LBHT crew. I hope everyone is doing well today. Was the last day of my vacation. I'm already sleepy. Is that why he was up late the other day? Because he was on vacation? Yeah. Okay. Adelia's in our house. Says, hey, everyone. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Listen to Adelia, everyone. She knows what she's talking about. Raven C is here, B. What's up, Raven C?
What's up, Raven?
Yes, hit that like button. It's good to see you, my friend. We got Andrew in the house. Says, yo, what up, crew? What up with you, Andrew? We got our guy Hendo in the house. What's good, Hendo? Hendo had the Lions Syndicate on the show. Hendo and Yolanda. They had it on the show. Had him on the show yesterday. That was a good stream. I
heard they got some big news for their next show too.
Oh, okay. All right. Wait, what's the news?
Well, I don't know if it's a surprise or not, so I can't say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. We don't have to do anything, do we?
No.
It's okay. Yeah, you're not gonna be like, hey, guess what?
We weren't invited.
Oh, okay. Because they used to be a Ferris special. Ferris would be like, hey, guess what? You can be on the show. When? Right now. Oh, okay.
This is a surprise. So I don't want to say
It's a surprise. Okay, it's a surprise. All right. Melanated One, salute, says must win for Panthers. Kind of agree.
Listen, all of them are must win. That's what we do.
Not all must win.
But they're all must win, baby. And then we lose them. And then we're like, man, Ruben Bain. What's up, Yolanda?
Game too easy. Late? No.
Yeah,
you're not late.
Yeah, you late.
You're not late.
We already started. You wasn't here. That's the definition.
Yolanda, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. Ravens 08 says Panthers should move to CFL. Wow. Disrespect early.
That's rude.
That's a little rude. Okay. All right. You gotta have bad teams if they're gonna be good teams.
And
you gotta have losers.
Say, man, like y'all can take your little shots if you want. I would rather just be bad than have the best player in the world on one of the best teams in the league and not be able to win anything for a decade.
Hannah said you're gonna tell me later what the surprise is. Okay.
Yeah, well.
All right. Let's see. Big Cuzzo, what's good? Says didn't get a noddy. Oh, you didn't get a notification? Yeah,
come on, YouTube.
YouTube is fickle like that, man. To ensure that you are that you don't miss the show, sign up to our Discord. All right. And you can sign up to the Discord 2 ways. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow, or sign the membership. I'm not going to really mention the membership. We're not going to do that much longer, but while it's here, it's only $5. Either way, it's only $5. All right. And that's a one-time thing. If you don't want to stay a member, we don't kick you out. We're trying to grow the community. So as long as you don't do anything to get kicked out like Adrian Broner did on Cameron and Mace's show, you will be able to stay in the Discord. Okay. We might have to talk about that in the overtime show as well.
That was crazy. Like, Adrian Broner is not 100% there.
No, almost certain he was drunk.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain. And it's sad, and you could tell, like, that wasn't one of those like they trying to make fun. Like they felt bad that they had to kind of just get him out of there. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the overtime show. Osmond, what's good? Says hello everyone. Hope all is well. Osmond, did you get our message? And did you follow those instructions in the message? I hope so.
Surely he got the message. And thank you, Osmond. Osmond did send in the suggestion for today's Black History fact. Thank you very much.
Salute to Osmond. J6 says shout out to Cam for holding it down for him. And the lady, yes, Stat Baby. Well, I'm not sure what her real name is. I should. She said it up before, but they call Stat Baby on the show. Definitely. And there was another woman on the show. I forget her name too, but she had a channel, but he was kind of disrespecting both of them. So Cam had to escort my man out the building. He did the right thing. All right. Felipe, what's going on? Says Jose, what are the chances Lamar wins MVP over Allen and Herbert? Herbert, you go ahead and take Herbert out the mix. He's not winning anything.
No, you can't take him out of the mix. Look, it is a narrative award. And people love Justin Herbert. And he's already got a big win over Kansas City. They're 2-0. He's playing fantastic ball right now. So you can't take him out the mix.
Justin Herbert gets talked about for about 3-4 weeks max. And
well,
we always stop talking about
that's because the team starts losing. Now, they do appear to be for real. They are a good, solid team. Now, I don't know what kind of wizardry is going on over there that they taught Quentin Johnston how to catch the ball. But they appear to be for real this year, and if they keep it up, he'll be right there in the mix.
Well, Jim Harbaugh's a good coach.
Yeah, he is.
I
hate to say it.
Why?
I don't know, man. Like that, I don't like that. Doing the show has turned me against the Harbaughs, despite Jim's, his great demeanor and his optimism. I've always liked Jim Harbaugh, but you got some John and Jack in you.
You gotta give us Jack.
He made John the way he is. I assume, right?
Nico Kage, what's good, man? Thanks for coming through. I think we got everybody. All right, we got some matchups to discuss. The Ravens play the Lions this week. That's a big test for both teams, right? These are teams with Super Bowl aspirations, and let's see how they hold up. Shug says, I like to just point out that Jose picked against Terrence Bud Crawford, and I hope he has to eat crow. I did not pick it against Bud Crawford. I don't think I picked anybody because he's a super middleweight champion of the world. # Nebraska. Wow. I don't think I picked anybody. I said I wasn't. I said Bud was the better boxer, but I wasn't sure just because he's moving up a weight if he will, be able to put it off. But I didn't make any official picks. None of us made official picks, okay? Because we haven't done any Ring Kings in a while. Haven't done it in a while. So there are no official picks until you see a Ring Kings video. All right, that's how it works. He watched it on Ring Kings. Yeah, sure you did, Shug. Osmond said he sent the Patreon messages. Okay, cool. We'll check it out. Jim is a coach I would rather have minus Giro. Yeah, Adelia, call him out. Why are you saying Nebraska, # Nebraska like you live there? Okay.
Right.
Because that's the type of posing that Shug does. All right. Shug said Shug said, he said, look, he said I couldn't go with Canelo. I had to root for my people. Okay. In case you didn't know, Shug is he's more black than anything else.
He is West African.
He's West African. That's black.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right, listen. We discussed this just minutes before going on air that we were going to cut out this portion of the show and make it a tight 45. All right.
This is for engagement. We got to say what's up to the people, All right, but we are going to get going though. We want to talk about these matchups. The Panthers play the Falcons, and we got.
Why you sign like that? When you said that.
Well, I'll sign because of the court of public opinion that we're going to discuss here.
That's not how it came across.
Well, you gotta let me finish. Okay, y'all let me finish, B. Why are you getting all nervous when I talk about the Panthers? Every time I say Panthers, you're like, You're like, what about the Panthers? What about?
I'm just saying, like you ain't had nice things to say about them recently.
I didn't.
No.
I believe I was the one that said, "Hey, why don't we wait until the game's over to go live?" You said, "No, it's over. Let's stream now."
Well, that was after I told you that I wanted to stream after the Panthers game because you wanted to go after the Ravens game.
No.
Yeah.
I said, "What do you want to do?"
Same thing.
It's not the same thing. Traditionally, we would go after the Ravens game because I couldn't, I had to hit the road right after that game, so we couldn't do it after the Panthers game. I'll already be halfway to Virginia, right? But now I can do it. What's going on? OJ Pipson, salute.
22. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that super chat. See, look, it works, guys. The super chat works. Okay. The link that you see in the chat box that take you to our Streamlabs page, that also works. It works better than super chat, I would argue. And also our Cash App, $ LBHTShow. Those are ways that you can donate to the show. All right. Brodny goes all Nathan Thurm when you mention the Panthers. Yeah.
I'm too young to understand that reference, so whatever.
All right. We are going to get this show started. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to have a fun overtime show. There's a couple of topics I want to discuss, and you guys are going to want to discuss that too. So if you're not a member, go to patreon.com/LBHTShow, sign up and check out this episode. All right. So let's get the show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B and Akole have a Black History fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, Dr. Marion Croak is one of the most influential engineers of our time, though her name is often left out of mainstream tech narratives. Born in New York City in 1955, she grew up fascinated by science, thanks to her father's home experiments. That early curiosity led her to Princeton for undergrad, and then to a PhD in social psychology and quantitative analysis from USC. She joined Bell Labs in the early 1980s, where she began shaping the future of digital communication. Her most groundbreaking work came in the development of Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP, the technology that allows us to make phone calls over the Internet. It's hard to overstate the impact. This innovation transformed global communication and laid the foundation for platforms like Zoom, Skype, and countless others. Dr. Croak holds over 200 patents, with more than half tied directly to VoIP. She also created the text-to-donate system that helped raise millions for disaster relief after events like Hurricane Katrina and the Haiti earthquake. Despite leading massive engineering teams at AT&T and later becoming a vice president at Google, where she now works on responsible AI and internet access equity, her story is rarely spotlighted. She's been inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame and honored by Women in Technology. International, but her contributions are still under-recognized in the broader tech canon. Beyond her technical achievements, Dr. Croak is a fierce advocate for racial justice and mentorship, especially for women and girls in STEM. Her legacy is not just in the code and patents, but in the doors she's opened and the lives she's uplifted. Proof that innovation is most powerful when it's inclusive.
Salute to the Black History fact. But we gotta do something about that.
It has to be something with the settings in StreamYard because it doesn't sound like that. When I create it and upload it. So and it is louder. So I think that it might be just something with the volume setting. I don't know.
Well, send it to me. I can lower that part down and maybe that'll fix it.
It's very annoying.
All right, we'll get that fixed. DDSQ salute. What's good? Dan the D is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. She says, "Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the stream. Hit the like and subscribe button. newsletter. Yes, the newsletter, LBHTShow.com. I didn't put it out last week. I'm sorry. I'm going to put it out this week. I promise. Okay. Super chat is available. Cash App, $LBHT Show. Listen to Danity. All right.
Danity knows what's good for you.
She does.
If you don't know yourself.
Yeah. And if you act up, she'll also show you what's good for you. All right. Don't act up in the chat when Danity's here. All right. D Weezy said this woman is the only reason I can still make I can still make phone calls. No phone currently. Okay. Well, that's right. You have her to thank for it. All right. You don't necessarily have to have a phone in the house or a cell phone. There's all kinds of ways to call people nowadays.
Mm-hmm. But don't just text.
So that volume is loud. I'd be saying says that blows out his eardrum. So we gotta adjust that. We can adjust that. That's no problem. Chaos 30310 says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Chaos?
What's up, Chaos?
Thanks for coming through. All right. We gotta get our running game back. I'm not worried about that Ravens 08. In fact, we can start with that. You want to start with that?
Sure.
Okay. Listen, the Ravens versus the Lions. Lamar Jackson has had their number, and every team in the NFC, not named the Eagles and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's crazy those two are on the list together.
I know. Both games I should have won, but whatever. But listen, this is why you play the games. The Lions are a really good team. They stumbled out the gate week 1, and they came roaring back in week 2, put up 52 points against the Bears. We got what's the quarterback's name?
Jared
Goff. I was going to say
MVP. Jared Goff came back. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, they stumbled out of the gates technically, but they just played probably one of the best teams in the league in the Green Bay Packers.
In a division rival.
Yeah, and debuted their brand new defense with Micah Parsons. But he bounced back with 5 touchdowns against the lowly Chicago Bears.
Yeah, he put 5 touchdowns in games. He got 6 touchdowns on the season, only 1 interception. I think he has like an 80% completion percentage. I think like he's hitting on all cylinders, and he has all the weapons in the world.
Yes.
All right. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaac Tesla with 2 A's.
There you go. Sam Laporta.
Right? Sam Laporta.
David Montgomery. Like, it's crazy over there.
Yeah. So a lot of firepower over there, and the defense they got some guys over on that side as well.
Aiden Hutchinson is back and playing well. They're definitely one of the top teams in the league. They're I thought they would kind of get out a little bit slowly because they did lose both coordinators. They lost Ben Johnson. He's the head coach of the Chicago Bears, and Aaron Glenn is about to be fired as the head coach of the New York Jets. But neither one of them's working in Detroit anymore. So I thought that would kind of hold them back a little bit. But they appear to be still, getting things on track. And listen, when you have that much talent, I'm not going to say the coach doesn't matter at all, but you can overcome bad coaching.
Yeah. So we have some stats. We'll go over the stats, and then we'll talk about strategies for the Ravens, how they can come out with the victory, because I think they should still win this game. I mean, week 1 showed that they could, with all that, they could still be beat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's the first slide we have, Adelia? We have, there it is. Derrick Henry is tied for the 3rd highest explosive run rate among running backs with at least 15 carries, 17.2%. Although all 5 of his explosive runs came in week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't do much of anything in week 2 except fumble the ball.
Yeah.
But through 2 weeks, the Lions have allowed an explosive run rate of 8.6 to running back, 8.6% to running backs, which is the 7th lowest mark in the league. Again, they have a very, very talented defense. Don't let what you saw in the playoffs fool you. They had everybody missing due to injury in the playoffs, so that kind of derailed their run last year. They were, I think it was 15-2 before those injuries really took their toll on that defense. So they're back to full strength. Derrick Henry, I don't want to say that he's looking suspect, but he has fumbled down in both of their games. That's odd for him. And it could just be a little, just a coincidence, Yeah. But if the O-line isn't opening up holes, then, he does have a tendency to get hit in the backfield. That's not on him. That would be on Andrew Voorhees and Daniel Falele. But when that happens, the run game really can't get going. He needs to have a nice runway to get up to speed. And once he gets up to speed, obviously,
that's a problem.
Derrick Henry is nigh unstoppable. So it's going to be about who, like most games are, who wins that line of scrimmage battle between the O-line and the D-line and whether or not they can bottle up the Ravens run game. You know what would be really crazy?
What?
If the Baltimore Ravens deployed another back with a different skill set to kind of balance things out and keep the defense on their toes a little bit. Maybe a smaller guy, maybe he's quicker, faster, has the ability to hit that home run. I don't know, just spitballing. I don't know where they would get that. But that'd be pretty cool if they were able to balance out their backfield that way.
Hey, Tracy's here. What's up, Tracy? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, Keaton Mitchell showed you everything he needed to show you in preseason. Over his completely over his injury, running well, still has that explosive speed, but let's not use him. Although I feel like they might activate him this week if Rasheen Ali isn't cleared from his concussion. They might use him this week. But why does it take that to get him on the field? Why can't you find ways to get your talented players involved? And I think that's the problem that I have with the coaching staff, because the Cleveland game showed you that even if Derrick Henry gets shut down, it's not a problem for them to air it out if they have to air it out, right? It's not a problem. Lamar's playing excellent football. He has good wide receivers with, that he can count on, especially when he doesn't make the perfect throw. Mm-hmm. Right. I said it on the Ravens Roundup yesterday. You have DeAndre Hopkins, who has made a Hall of Fame career out of bailing out bad quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So when even though he's not in his prime, he's paired with one of the best or the best quarterback in the league. It's nothing for him to make adjustments to his pass. Yeah. Right. It's nothing when Lamar has to make a play or he finds D Hop in single coverage. Lamar's throwing a good pass for him. He needs to make a play on it, and that's the easy part for him. Yeah. So we have to. It's the coaching staff that has to put them in position to say, okay, they're going to stack the box. Of course, that's the game plan. Stack the box. Don't let Derrick Henry get started, because that's the thing. You let him get started, then even with a bad O-line, it's game over. Yeah. But you stack the box but you let Lamar go out there and air it out. That's when everything opens up. If they know you're going to pass the ball early on, if you're stacking the box, then they have to honor that, right? Tez Walker, your guy Tez Walker, right. Him stretching the field and getting those touchdowns, I think that's crucial. I think that pays dividends later on. So when he's on the field, he ain't no decoy. He's not somebody that's going to just be out there, run a route, and then come out the field, or he won't catch the ball when he's open. If he gets behind you, that's it. So that stretches out the defense as well. You can't cheat up when he's on the field. So these are things that that they have to look at furthering in this game. Defense. This is where it's at. Oh no! Before I even get into that, we have another slide. You can go ahead and put that one up, Adelia.
Yeah, and I love this one because this is about Lamar Jackson. Since the start of the 2024 season, Lamar Jackson has taken an extended drop back, which is 4+ seconds, on 22.1% of his total dropbacks, the fourth highest mark among quarterbacks during that span. Jackson's 981 total yards on extended dropbacks, 274 scramble rushing yards, and 707 passing yards, as the most of any quarterback since the start of the 2024 season. Through 2 weeks this season, Jackson has 107 total yards on extended dropbacks, 30 scrambling, and 77 passing. I think a lot of people's initial reaction to that stat would be, oh, well, it looks like the O-line is doing their job. Not really. At times, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
even the worst old linemen win the overwhelming majority of their blocks. But Lamar can just hang back there because Lamar is a wizard when it comes to avoiding pressure. And as he's matured in the league, he's less likely to just take off and run. So he's more likely to avoid the pressure and then just kind of reset himself, look downfield again, and try to get the ball to his wide receivers. And he kind of exhausts that before taking off and running. The problem there is the Detroit Lions have this guy called Aiden Hutchinson, who is one of the top edge rushers in the league. He's coming back off of a season-ending injury last year, and he looks to be back in his pre-injury form. I know at Cleveland they kind of moved guys around on that line to take advantage of certain members of the line, and I imagine that'll be the case again with Detroit. Ideally, you would want to get that running game going to try to take a little wind out of the sails of the pass rush of the Lions. Again, keep the defense on their toes, be less predictable on offense, because even though Cleveland is a good defense, there wasn't any threat from the other side of the ball, right? They can't do anything on offense, and Baltimore was able to maintain control of that game. Detroit's a whole different animal, right? Detroit can put up points quickly. They can put up points in bunches. They can get you down and, again, make you one-dimensional and have you kind of chasing for the rest of the game. And that's something that you really want to avoid. I don't expect that to happen with Baltimore, but it is a possibility with the talent level that you see in Detroit.
Well, I was about to transition over to the defensive side, right? Green Bay, who playing very good football right now, but they showed you that this offense can be slowed down, right? There are things that you can do out there to go and frustrate Goff and that offense. Is Baltimore going to be able to do it? Right.
Well, yes, if they trade for Micah Parsons. If they pull that off, then yes. Otherwise, I think they're gonna struggle a bit.
Listen. This is why we went and spent the money that we spent. Okay. We have Mike Green. We can't just sit here and say, "Oh, Mike Green isn't going to be a factor." We can't say that. The safety we just got can't be a factor, right? We can't even though they're rookies. We spent a first and second round pick on them. You can't go out there and say, "Oh well, they'll get up to speed." We need them to get up to speed now. We didn't draft those guys to not contribute now. So I want to see it, right? I want to see turnovers. We're supposed to have the best secondary in the league. So no, if the offense struggles a little bit, they have to hold up their end. I don't care how much talent they have on that side. We're supposed to have the talent. I thought the strategy was you get the talent on defense that mitigates the talent on offense. Isn't that we were always told when it comes to stopping Jamar Chase and T. Higgins is, well, if you have the corners, that nullifies them. We got corners
and they've shown for 7 to 8 years that that's not true. But they stick with it, though. I'll give them that. They stick right there with it. I just, Jared Goff, I've never really thought that highly of. I kind of looked at him as a product of his environment with the coaching and all those weapons around him. But, look, it's been 3 or 4 years, and he's maintaining that level of play. Right. So whether it's him, whether it's where he's at, whether it's his teammates, doesn't really matter. It's going to be difficult for Baltimore, I think, to force turnovers on Detroit just because of the level that Jared Goff has been playing at over the last, like I said, 3 or 4 years. And again, the amount of talent that they have out there. You have the best secondary in the league talent wise. But they've got guys all over the field that can make plays, and even if Baltimore was playing up to their potential, it would be an extremely tough matchup going against these Lions. They got punched in the mouth week 1, and they came out and promptly dropped 52 in their second game.
Yeah, but no, you're right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with that, but the attitude for this defense needs to be, so what? I don't care who they have out there. We're gonna stop them. That's what EC has been trying to build all this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been trying to replicate those 2000s, the early 2000s defense. Then I don't care who's on the other side. You had your one bad game for the year. You can't let anybody else go out there and do that to you again. If they don't establish themselves in this game, then they're not going to get that respect throughout the year. Good teams are going to say, "Oh, don't worry about them. Let's go ahead and air this thing out," because they can't do it. They're all talk. They're all barking, no bite. They have to start. I know it's early, but this has to be a game where they go out there and they shut it down.
Yeah. And Baltimore usually does, show out in these kind of games. It's a primetime game against a marquee opponent. They tend to show up and play very well. I think the bigger danger in this game is that Lions defense versus the Ravens offense, just because Baltimore, for whatever reason, does not really like to get all of their players involved on offense. They have a tendency to try and lean on one or two guys. Obviously, Lamar has shown you that if he needs to, he can get the ball, he can spread the ball around to whoever. But I think for that coaching staff, ideally, it's let's hand the ball to Derrick Henry, let's throw the ball to Zay, and if he could still play football, let's also involve Mark Andrews in that. He's been missing in action so far, but I just feel like this is what happens to them when they get into the postseason, is they go against better coaches, and better coaches are able to take away those, one or two options that they really want to use, and then the Ravens coaching staff is kind of lost.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't really expect that to happen at this point. It's still early in the season. It's the regular season. The Ravens tend to really show up and play their best in these primetime games against top tier opponents. So I would expect Baltimore to go out there and win. I would say probably by 14 or 17 on Monday.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking it's a 14-point win for the Ravens, and that's no disrespect to the Lions, right? But this is what the Ravens organization does. This is what John Harbaugh does on a big stage. Prime time at the very least, when all eyes are on him. Those are the games that he likes to show out and show that he's a good coach, right? Most of the time. Yeah, playoffs is when he, when butts get tight and he can't make simple decisions. I want to ask the chat this though. It's only 2 games. We got 15 more games to go. But so far, how do you feel about Malachi Starks and Mike Green so far? Right? And again, it's early, so you can make you can make some early and reckless reactions, because all we can do is react in the moment, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's how the rest of the season is going to go. Are you underwhelmed? Are you saying, hey, they're right on track, or are you saying, hey, they're doing a great job? Chaos says Malachi has been getting grades of 59. What is that from PFF? Probably. I think Mike Green, because I don't think he's getting full snaps yet, right? I've seen him out there get some pressure. I think he looks good. I think he's right where I want him to be right now.
Okay. All I'm going to say is this, because I don't want to be accused of being a hater. I don't want to try to come down on him, whatever. But there's a list that was put out of rookie splash plays on defense, the leaders by percentage. And I see, shout out to Game Too Easy, I see James Pierce at number 1 at 21.8%. I see Lathan Ransom of the Carolina Panthers coming in at number 5 with 10%. And I don't see Malachi Starks or Mike Green on this list anywhere. Now, you might react to that by saying, what's a splash play? And I'll tell you, I don't know, because he did not explain it. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. But no, I think that those guys have been doing okay. You can't, we talk about, they have to come in, they have to make the impact because that's the decision that the GM and the coach made. That's the route they chose to go, right? But that is a problem with EDC and John Harbaugh. That's not the fault of Malachi Starks, and that's not the fault of Mike Green. They're going to come in and they're going to acclimate to the NFL game at whatever pace they acclimate to the NFL game, like all rookies do. It seems to be happening a little bit slower than Ravens fans would like. I know that over here in Carolina, we drafted a guy in the top 10 who's tearing it up from week 1 in Tedderall McMillan. That's okay. Y'all didn't have that luxury, but those guys are going to be fine. I would think that, especially with a lot of the comments that we've seen after the first 2 games, most people would, if they had the decision to make again, most people would go with Josh Simmons over Malachi Starks.
Yeah. Gray's Abel, I saw somebody put that name in there. That's somebody that me and B like, but I think he went a little bit earlier. But
yeah.
But that's one of those things where we're like, hey, you gotta trade up. If you gotta trade up and get somebody, you gotta get protection on the O-line. Listen, man, Malachi Starks, that was tough, man. And again, Malachi, it's only 2 games. He could turn out to be really good. He could end up getting a lot of turnovers, but man, you drafted the safety high again. Mm-hmm. When you do that, there needs to be immediate return on investment.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I'm not liking it so far. He dropped the interception in week 1. I was about to get hype over that too. I was about to say instantly right out the gate, he getting turnovers. He dropped it. Can't have it, even as a rookie.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. And I'm only asking that because what we passed up to get those guys is really showing itself at guard positions. You know what I mean? We neglected the left and right guard because I know y'all harp on 77, but that right guard or left guard, he ain't looking great either. Right? Voorhees. So and if they can't get better, there's no real answer. Right?
No.
There's no real answer. You try to make some adjustments, call some different plays to try to, throw the D-line off. But that, if you're bad there, you're just bad. That's why it was important to get that right. But, look, we'll see. All that being said, I still expect the Ravens to win this game. That's just how Lamar is.
It's funny. I'm looking in the chat and I'm seeing several people saying Kyle Hamilton didn't start off well his rookie year. And guess what? Y'all didn't win a Super Bowl his rookie year and have not since then. Right? And after that,
right,
famously, you were the worst defense in the league and said, man, we better draft another safety. We better draft an edge rusher. So, saying Kyle Hamilton didn't start off well is not any kind of absolution for Malachi Starks. Right?
Yeah, I think we said the same thing then. Like, hey, Kyle Hamilton has to come out the gate swinging. He didn't do that. And like we said, we didn't win.
Because that's where Baltimore is right now. They're not rebuilding. They are in a window where they're trying to win a championship, and the moves that they make have to reflect that.
So. Yeah. He improved the rest of that season. Yeah, he's good. I expect Malachi Starks to improve. I don't expect any of these guys to be bad. Right? I don't expect Malachi Starks. I mean, not the whole draft, but Mike Green, Starks, even the Emory Jones. I think Emory Jones
would expect him to be bad because
Emory Jones,
because EDC drafted him in the 3rd round.
He's hurt.
He's hurt now, but I'm just saying, his track record on drafting offensive linemen isn't the best.
True. Yeah.
They already cut the other one they drafted, Dellinger, and
I think you got it right with Rosengarten.
Sure. And again, that was a 2nd round pick. They got it right with Linderbaum, obviously in the 1st round. There's a lot of guys they missed on the 3rd and later.
Sure did.
Not Nick Samek though. That was a hit. He just didn't have a spot in Baltimore. He's going to flourish in Carolina. So that was
Ravens, they said ADC can't draft, period. He can draft a little bit.
He can draft about as well as every other GM in the league, I would say.
Linderbaum ain't it. Excuse me, Chaos? Linderbaum is it. It just like I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know how to respond to that. Like he's a good starting center. Is he the best? Probably. There's probably some better ones. Yeah, there's probably a couple better out there, but he's up there. He's up there. You don't remember back when Ozzy ran this team and we couldn't get a center to save our lives. That was one positions that Ozzy could not get right was center.
Yeah, that's why you went and got Matt Burke.
Yep. He recognized his weaknesses and just said, okay, let me just go in free agency and get that. But he could not draft one.
Yeah.
Stout not it for me. Yeah. I feel you on that. So Kyle Hamilton was the reason why the Ravens didn't win the Super Bowl.
Is that what somebody said?
What was Med Dabo? Was Kyle Hamilton the reason we won a Super Bowl? That's the point. Did he contribute to us winning? No. Not in the playoffs. We are past the regular season, regular season wins and the feel good moments and all that stuff. We've been doing that for 7 years. It's time to get it done in the playoffs. Are we getting guys on the team that are going to help us win a playoff or win a Super Bowl right now, not later on? Because later on, people leave and they got to be replaced. And then we want to replace them with young people that we say they'll be better later. Like our O-line.
Yeah.
Anybody that's coming on this team starting needs to be able to contribute now. Okay, I say he'll lay off Linderbaum. Thank you. What's up, Antonio? He says, I think we will. The coaching. We'll see, man. We'll see. All right. Ravens win. I didn't predict the final score. I think. And are we playing at home?
I believe so.
40 points 3 weeks in a row? Nah. I'm going to say 31-17. 31-17.
Remarkably close to excuse me, what I was going to say. I'm going to say 34-20. And I would not be shocked if they did hit 40 for a third consecutive week. Lamar is in a 2.5 year zone going on now.
Yeah.
And now again, Zay Flowers has stepped his game up. DeAndre Hopkins is out there making plays. Tez Walker is now contributing. I would not be shocked if they went for 40 again, but I'm going to say 34-20.
All right. Okay. Let's go on to the Panthers in a must-win week 3.
Yes.
Now, we've talked about this, B. I believe the first 2 games, they could have won those games, especially last week.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Especially, it didn't look like it in the Jaguars game, but you look at how many times they were down there, it kind of faltered in the red zone. I think they could have absolutely won it. The 1 4th down where he threw it to Tetaroa and he didn't catch the ball. They held his arm or whatever and they call it. That was 7 points that didn't get put up. There's a lot of things that they could have done to win that game. Bryce Young played pretty good in that Cardinals game, despite the early turnovers.
Yeah, after those first couple series, he was fine. But I think a part of that was, like we talked about with Baltimore, Arizona kind of taking their foot off the gas defensively. They didn't really come after Bryce the way they did on those first. And it's crazy because you have 2 drives. You send heavy pressure on the third downs on both of those drives, and you force turnovers. One of them was returned for a touchdown. One of them led to a field goal. And then you say, you know what? Don't do that anymore. We're gonna stop pressuring this guy. But hey, that's their decision. That's their journey. I'm not here to judge that. But Bryce has been, he was not good in week 1 against Jacksonville. He was much better in week 2. But the fact is that they continually shoot themselves in the foot. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds that are keeping them from winning those first 2 weeks. And now this week, luckily for them, I guess maybe you could say, they're going to have a chance to have some wounds inflicted by the opponent, because Atlanta has some elite talent over there. You have a slide about Bijan Robinson and the kind of monster that he is. And the Panthers defense has not been particularly stout against even lower end run games. So Bijan, Idili, do you have the slide for Bijan? Oh yes, Bijan Robinson has forced the 4th most missed tackles, 13, and generated the 3rd most missed tackle yards this season, 87. Robinson has maintained his tackle-breaking ability throughout his young career, finishing in the top 3 in both missed tackles forced and yards after missed tackles in 2024, after ranking in the top 7 in both categories as a rookie in 2023. The cool thing about that is Carolina can't tackle. So you have a defense that can't tackle combined with one of the best in the league at breaking tackles. And I think you're kind of in for some fireworks, right? The good news for Carolina in that regard, though, is that Bijan went off against them in the last game last season, and they still won. Carolina. Bad news, though. Atlanta has gone to work on the rest of their defense as well. They drafted Jalen Walker in the first round. They also drafted James Pierce in the first round, and we have a slide for them as well regarding rushing the quarterback and Carolina's ineptitude at preventing that from happening. We have the side for James Pierce and yes.
There we go.
The Falcons rookie edge rusher James Pierce has recorded the 5th highest pressure rate, 24.1% in the NFL this season. Pierce has recorded 7 pressures, the 2nd most by all rookies behind Abdul Carter. The Panthers left tackles Yash Nyman and Ikem Ekwonu have collectively allowed the 2nd highest pressure rate, 19.2% in the NFL through 2 weeks of the season. So again, this is it seems like perfect storm. Like you on the one end, you have a guy who's fantastic at breaking tackles versus team who can't tackle. And now you've got guys who are very good at rushing the passer versus guys who not so great at stopping pass rushers. If you combine those things, and then you also realize that Carolina lost Robert Hunt, arguably their best O-lineman, and also Austin Corbett, their starting center, both out for the year. They're going to be replaced by Cade Mays and Chandler Zavala. If you combine all those things, it kind of looks like beat down incoming for Carolina, right? One thing that is working in their favor, I believe the top corner in Atlanta is going to be out, and Teteroa McMillan has been performing very well right from the beginning of his career, and he may be able to take advantage of the defense a bit, but they have to be able to slow down the pass rush and keep Bryce upright in order for that to mean anything at all.
How do you feel about Michael Penix?
I think he's a jerk. I don't know. Penix is fine.
He's good. I like him.
I don't think he's great. I don't think he's bad. I think he's fine, and I think he has the chance to develop into a good starter.
I think so too.
They have Drake London. Not particularly concerned about Drake London, honestly. They've got Bijan, and that's where most of my concern lies at this point. One good thing about the Atlanta Falcons is sometimes they inexplicably just won't give them the ball, and I'm hoping against hope that's the case this weekend as well.
Yeah, the defense I still believe is going to get better as the season goes on. They have to play well as a unit, and it's going to take some time for that unit to gel, right? Trash do-rag is too tight. All right, Kwame, man.
That is now my official position on Michael Penix. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a little aggressive, but all right, man. You know,
Yeah.
Jay said Corbin is this is by subtraction. That's mean.
Well, okay, but honestly, I'm not going to go as far as to say he's right, but Austin Corbett had struggled snapping the ball in the first 2 weeks. There have been multiple bad snaps. Bryce has caught all of them, but it should not be happening. It's like what was your boy Ryan Jensen, when he was playing center in Baltimore, and you just never knew where the ball was going to go. It's been a little while.
He got together.
Yeah, okay. He did. He definitely did in Tampa Bay when he turned into one of the best centers in the league.
He played much better in Tampa Bay. No, towards the last year he played really good.
But it wasn't just him. It was him. It was old boy who I think went to the Dolphins. I can't remember.
I forget his name. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but regardless, that's Austin Corbett's been he's had a little bit of that the first couple of weeks. He injured his knee again. I believe this is the third time with that MCL. It's very unfortunate for him. Yeah. But the Panthers should have gone out and gotten an actual center. Like Austin Corbett is a guard who they moved over to center. He didn't have much experience playing there, and he's done an admirable job over the last year. But they really should have addressed that either in the draft or in free agency. Cade Mays is coming in, and he's played okay in the chances, in his appearances. So I don't think it's going to be a huge drop off at center. Guard is a different story. Robert Hunt, one of the best guards in the league, particularly pass blocking guards, to Chandler Zavala, who again is famous for getting a 0.0 grade in his first. I think it might have been his second start. From PFF. So he looks much better, but there was a wide gap between Zavala and Robert Hunt. So that's concerning.
I think it's amazing how seemingly a lot of teams don't put enough emphasis on O-line, right? Like, if your O-line isn't good, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. Unless you just have overwhelming talent. If you like the Bengals, where it's just like, all right, man, it's going to be a sack or it's going to be a touchdown.
It's funny because we always mention the Bengals because they did make it to the Super Bowl that one year with a terrible O-line, right? But look at the years around that. Joe Burrow tore his ACL one year. Joe Burrow missed 7 games a couple years ago, and now Joe Burrow was out for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. But yes, some teams might be able to identify O linemen that can come in and do what they need them to do, and they can coach them up, and it works fine. Praying for Bryce, yeah. But like sometimes you can do that, but you're taking a gamble if you don't have the coaching staff to do it. If those guys don't develop it, you don't have veterans that can come in there and stabilize the line while those guys are developing, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So you have to. So no, it's not always. It's not the sexy pick. It's not the pick that people are getting excited for when it comes draft time. But man, when you don't have it, you know it.
Yes, and I joked about the Panthers drafting Ruben Bain, who is an absolute monster out of Miami. The edge rusher. I mean, he is a terrifying human being.
Yes, he is.
But no, because you need a left tackle still.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Iquanu has not. Look, he's got the rest of this year, obviously, but he's just not been good enough.
But that's a sacrifice we keep talking about making, right? For both of our teams, that's the type of sacrifice you have to be willing to make. You see a talent like that, and you're like, oh, get him. But you don't have anybody that can block. You have to get somebody that might be a lesser talent on O-line, but can block for your quarterback. Then they get that guy on defense that's an absolute monster. That O-lineman is going to take you further than that defensive player. That's a game wrecker. That's what you get when you have all the other pieces.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like Green Bay did just now, stealing Micah Parsons out of Dallas.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the offensive side. If they're able to protect Bryce, I think that he's kind of getting himself into a rhythm there. He's got a connection with Teteroa already. He's got a connection with Hunter Renfro as well. You know, we have a slide for Hunter. He's been particularly effective as the little accountant. I believe this past week he was targeted 9 times, caught 7 passes. Not a whole lot of yards, but he did get in the end zone twice. I was very upset earlier today because I did see a clip of Teteroa McMillan talking to the media, and they were asking him about Xavier Legette and what he expects out of Xavier Legette if he thinks that he's going to get his stuff together. And he's like, yeah, no worries about him. I think he's going to come out. He's going to make plays on Sunday, blah, 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 blah. Gave the corporate answer. And I'm like, this dude is 2 games into his career, and you're asking him about the former first round pick who's a bust and how he's going to perform. Like he shouldn't be in that role already. You know,
right?
He's
right.
commenting on the potential success of his teammates. You know,
yeah, I don't like that question. Right.
But Teteroa, but he got it because he's been playing at a very high level already through 2 games. And
he got
like the real deal.
Yeah. Hey, Teteroa, you look like the type of player that they wanted Xavier Legette to be. How do you feel? How do you feel about Xavier Legette, your teammate? Does he suck?
Hey, Ted, looks like they finally got it right at wide receiver in the first round. What do you think about that other dude?
Right.
Who's not contributing at all for the first 2 weeks.
Hey, what's up, Nitro? It says, man, I missed the Ravens Lions talk. Why? Guess what?
Because you were late, Nitro. That's why. It's not a mystery.
1, you were late. 2, you can rewind it.
Yeah, that's true.
You can rewind it. It's like, you're not missing anything. You can rewind it and then catch up. Okay. Thanks for coming through. Y'all make sure you subscribe to the Wonderkin Show. And you have a morning show too now, right? Is that a different channel? I think that's a different channel. Go subscribe.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Yeah.
But yeah, so offensively, I think they'll be okay. You know, assuming those linemen come to play. The real concern is on the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, they're not great tackling. They're not a very good run defense. They are still not playing the rookies as much as they need to. Nick Scott is still going to be starting at safety. They did sign a linebacker off of the Bengals practice squad, to which a lot of people reacted. You signed a player who couldn't make the Bengals defense. So that's great. When I looked him up, and they said he's a 2-down linebacker, you know, a strictly run defender, not a great run defender. And then he ran a 4.9 40 at the combine. Cool. Not expecting a whole lot of help from that guy, but you know, hopefully he's
I believe the league you're looking for is USFL.
I think they're going to have a lot of trouble containing Bijan Robinson in that offense. But you know, it is a rivalry game. Carolina loves playing Atlanta. Bryce Young loves playing Atlanta. He had 5 touchdowns the last time he played them. So hopefully it's like Baltimore, and this is one of the games they get up for. And like I said, it is a must win at this point. They're 0-2. You can't go 0-3 with a loss in the division. So
right, because then you have to start making some decisions at that point. Like, yes, it's only week 3, but we're 0-3. What are our chances of winning the division? And if they're not looking great, what moves can we make? What players can we ship out? And we can
do that right now.
Yeah,
we don't have to wait for the week 3 on that one. We can do that today.
So who are you picking?
I don't think that we need to, I don't think that we need to talk about that. That's okay. So I'm going to say this. If you ask me as a football fan, just independent football fan who's going to win this game, I'm going to take Atlanta. But if you ask me as a Panthers fan, obviously we're going to win, and we're going to win big. Teteroa is getting his first touchdown this week. Bryce will have 0 turnovers. The O-line will miraculously play better without 2 of their starters. And we're going to be 1-2 come Monday morning.
SV Cam is here. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. I haven't seen you in a while. I believe on the show I picked the Cardinals because I felt like I jinxed them.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go win big. What's the score? That's what Jeremy wants to know.
Hey,
I'm
why
gonna
don't you mind
go.
your business, Jeremy. How about that?
No, he meant to say big win. Have a big win. Okay. I'm gonna go. Ooh, I like that. Osman 21-17. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a little more dramatic than that. It's going to be 23-20. Panthers win it on the field goal.
I'll tell you what, Osmond's not thinking big enough. 24-17. All right, there it is. Listen, Kwame, you know, I liked what you said about Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins has always been a fraud, and now he's an old fraud and can't even play to the mediocre level he used to play to. So no, thank you. I don't want any part of that. They've already got Kirk Cousins, and his name is Andy Dalton.
Well, why do you think they should trade for Kirk Cousins? Because Bryce Young isn't playing bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they're losing, but they're not. But then he's not playing bad.
And the Falcons aren't going to trade Kirk Cousins because they had to take it's a $40 million cap hit to move him because they are idiots and gave him a $100 million deal right before drafting Michael Penix.
Nitro says 37-14.
That's right.
Panthers.
That's because Nitro knows ball.
That's because he likes you, B. He's trying to get on your good side.
50-0, bro. Like, come on. Right? I appreciate you going big, but come on, man. Ain't nobody getting a shutout in 2025 in the NFL.
SV Cam says Panthers 40, Falcons 20. Dropping 40 for the Panthers? Okay.
That's right.
You know what it will take for that to happen? Xavier Lee needs to break out.
Oh, man. Doesn't he though? Thank you, SB Cam. I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Oh, that's just rude chaos. Think big. Hey, listen, that's what's going to have to take. I'm hoping that all the talk about Xavier Lee because he's getting all the smoke everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
It lights a fire under him, and he's just like, no, this is the game I show out. I'm gonna show them what I'm about.
Yeah,
and he breaks out because
he drops 7 passes. God, I hate that.
If he can show up, if he can reach some of his potential, it doesn't have to be all of it, like 70% of it. You got offense.
It's a completely different offense. Hey, you know what else I want to see? I want to see Chuba Hubbard live up to his contract. Because I spent all last year saying he didn't deserve that money, and what's he doing?
So it's early, right? When's the trade deadline? Is it week 7?
It's later than that. It got pushed back. I can never remember what actual week it is. I want to say week 12, maybe. But
okay,
I'm not 100% sure.
You have to. This is a big game. You have to win this game, right? Because you want to stay in the hunt. And if you're not thinking we're going to go ahead and punt to next season and be all in for this season, then once you get like around week 6 or 7, B, then you can start looking at trading for somebody like Tyreek Hill, right?
November 5th.
November 5th.
That was last year.
Adelia's guy right here, November 4th.
There, thank you.
Thank you, Adelia. Thank you. But you get what I'm saying? Like you start looking at getting some trades. Hey, I mean, look, the Steelers are already having a little meltdown over that Seahawks game. Aaron Rodgers, you already know he's going to either say it's either Tomlin or me, and they I don't think they're gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. He might check out, but before then, there might be a fire sale going on over there. You might be able to get DK Metcalf. All right. There's going to be some players available to help boost your team if you can stay competitive.
Hopefully. Ferris says Xavier Legette couldn't catch a cold if he ran butt naked in the middle of a snowstorm. And I want to tell you something. Thank you very much for coming through, Ferris. We really appreciate you. Hope you're feeling better. Ferris is saying that out of anger. Ferris is bitter because Ferris's team chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, and they paid him $40 million a year, and they let Saquon Barkley walk. Saquon Barkley instantly became the best player in the league and won a Super Bowl on Ferris's most hated team. And then they let go of Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones has instantly become the most elite quarterback in the NFL through 2 weeks. They haven't even punted the ball yet on that Colts offense, and Ferris is just very, very upset. So you know what? I'm not going to take that personally, Ferris. I'm going to forget you said that. We're going to keep it moving.
They still got Malik Neighbors.
They do have Malik Neighbors. And
he's amazing.
And they also have Russell Wilson, whose job is to neutralize Malik Neighbors.
Hey, he did that in the last play, but the rest of that game, Malik Neighbors killed him. That
last play is the only one that mattered. He threw it straight to the other team in overtime.
Well, the other plays matter for my entertainment. Renfro unretired and got more yards than Leggett.
We ain't got to do him like that, man. We don't have to do that.
Hey, that's a fact.
True,
what did they say? He has 17 targets, only 8 yards or something like that? That's a lot of targets.
No, he doesn't have that. Leggett doesn't have that many targets. He's gotten a few, but he doesn't. I'm not sure he has any yards, honestly. I'm not sure that he's made a catch yet.
I thought they said 8 yards.
I know that they forced the ball to him a couple times. Let's see. He has oh my God, 15 targets. I was so wrong. 15 targets, 4 catches for a tidy 8 yards. So if you combine all 4 of his catches so far this year, he has still not gotten a first down. And you know the thing is everybody misses picks, and that's not what I'm upset about, because everybody drafts busts. You think of whoever you think is the greatest GM of all time, they drafted a lot of bad players, right? So that's not the problem. The problem is there was an obviously better player in the same position waiting to be drafted, and his name was Ladd McConkey, and you let him you passed on him and took a guy who was only even productive for 1 year in college. You know, he was there for 4 years, but he only did anything on a football field for 1 year. And he showed up in the NFL, and he's like, yeah, man, wait till you see year 4. And I fear you are not going to be a Carolina Panther at that point. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So we made our
Xavier Leggett, Ferris. That's who.
Yeah, Xavier Leggett is what we're talking about. So you said DK isn't going anywhere. Okay.
Well, DK is not going anywhere this year because contract, they're not going to take that kind of hit.
Yeah.
But some other players will be on the move.
Jimmy Horn will break out next game.
Jimmy Horn's not going to play next game. He hasn't said that he's going to be inactive, but he said he's going to be inactive.
But you know what? Take your time with Jimmy Horn. Develop him. Right. I think he is going to be a good player.
And like I said, their talk has always been, or their thing, I think they've been targeting 2026. The fans looked at this team and said, hey, there's more potential here. There's potential to win now. But I think the coaching staff has always been looking at this as another rebuilding year. I mean, Canales constantly refers to them as a developmental staff, which never heard that in the NFL. Not for people who are trying to win, right? So they are, and I understand why, because Carolina has been so poorly run for so long. Like the roster was in such a terrible state when he showed up that you kind of look at it like we can't turn it around quick. And if you somehow manage to, it's only going to be a detriment to you in the future, because then you drop down in the draft and you don't get as much talent as you otherwise would have as you're trying to build the team. Still not fun watching them lose.
But it's important along the way to make the right picks.
Yeah.
Right. To bring the right young players in there if you want to do it that way. That's a good way to do it. But you got to make sure you're making the right moves along the way and drafting the right players, like the Lions did.
Yeah.
Like the Packers did.
And I think that Dan Morgan didn't have a great first draft. I think he did much better in year 2.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
We'll see.
DJ Amp says coaching staff for Panthers got to go. They just got here.
No, they can't go. Even if you feel like they don't know what they're doing and they're not the right people for the job, they can't go, because they have fired so many coaches so quickly that you will not be able to hire anyone with any kind of competence to be the head coach in Carolina. They have to, that Dave Canales has to be the coach for the next several years.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So we got predictions for both teams, for both games. It's time for some court of public opinion, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a real court, but this is the court that you need. All right. Court of public opinion starts right now. We don't have microphone man to do the gavel, but let's get into it. What do we have, B?
One of my least favorite things. I hate when we talk about Stephen A. Smith. I hate when we talk about celebrity relationships in any capacity. And I hate any time that we have to bring up Draymond Green. But Draymond, look at how ecstatic he is in the background about finally getting that Rudy Gobert's neck. Oh, Lord, for those, it's the Lee Long stomp. For those of you that don't know, that's a not Soul Calibur but Soul Blade. Way back on the PlayStation, used to do the double foot stomp. I can't stand him.
I love those series of pictures. Every time we bring that man up,
he's just a bigger Chris Paul. That's all he is, and I hate him so much. But Draymond, who is no longer very effective on a basketball court, has pivoted to try to build his media career, and he's been talking about Josh Allen recently. And I believe you have a clip of him saying words out loud.
Yep, go ahead and bring it up, Adelia.
Josh Allen, not the guy, Draymond Green.
Yeah, no, and like I said before, Josh Allen is like a damn good quarterback.
Great.
But just because he's a damn good quarterback, don't make you the guy. He's never going to get it done when it matters the most. And so I don't care how Herculean of a comeback effort you have at home in week 1, he's never going to be the guy that's going to come out and win a championship and be the guy when it matters the most. He's not the guy. Jalen Hurts is the guy. Patty Mahomes is the guy. Josh Allen isn't the guy. When it matters the most, he is not going to Herculean you in a playoff game to win a Super Bowl title. He is not going to do that.
Jesus Christ. All right. Just all over the place right there. First off, the idea that Josh Allen isn't the guy, but Jalen Hurts is, like, and I understand that he's talking about, yeah, he won a championship, but like they're not the same. Josh Allen is a great player, and he is the guy. The fact that they haven't won yet doesn't disqualify him from being the guy, because if it did, that means Lamar's not the guy. That means Joe Burrow's not the guy. Any number of quarterbacks in the league, they're not the guy, right? It takes more than one player to win a Super Bowl. The quarterback is the most important position in the game. It's the most important position arguably in all of sports, but you still have to have a good organization around you. You still have to have a lot of talent around you, and then you still have to have luck. You have to have a lot of luck to get through, and I mean, unless you're the Chiefs, I guess. But you have to have a good amount of luck to break through and get to a Super Bowl and win it. Josh Allen has every bit of talent that he needs to make that happen. We've seen him play clutch in big games. He had Kansas City beat. It's not his fault that they gave up points in 14 seconds when he was sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where he's going with this. I do think that Josh Allen will win a Super Bowl for Buffalo. And there's certainly no reason to think right now that he can't get it done. He used to turn the ball over quite a bit. He used to make a lot of bad decisions. He's not that guy anymore either.
No, they've lost in heartbreaking fashion to the Chiefs. It was one year a missed field goal. That's the year we went to the AFC Championship to play the Chiefs. I think it was a missed field goal in that game. Jalen Hurts is the Tim Tebow of Philadelphia Gators.
Well, first of all, he's not Tim Tebow, and it's the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Yeah, but no. No, Josh Allen is that guy, man. Don't look. I know people don't like the narrative that they put out there, Lamar Jackson. And I kind of like the fact that Draymond is trying to put a little bit out there on Josh Allen. So, other fan bases kind of see how it feels when ridiculous things are said about their quarterback, because that's what it is, right? I think that's what Draymond Green is doing. I don't think Draymond Green believes that. I think he's just kind of putting it out there like, hey, I know it's a Lamar Jackson market, and it's good to go out there and just say ridiculous things about Lamar Jackson and get clicks. But hey, Josh Allen's the MVP, right? We want to talk about Josh Allen. I'm gonna go out there and just say Josh Allen ain't that guy, and have people react to it, right? I think that's kind of what's going on here. But no, Josh Allen is that guy. He's an excellent player. They could absolutely win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think he will win a Super Bowl before his career is over. I'm just hoping that it does not happen before Lamar wins the Super Bowl, because Buffalo fans will be insufferable.
Yeah. Well, actually, I say not stop it, because when it's Lamar, they say he chokes. Yeah, but that's the point. That's the point, right? I think that's why Draymond Green is saying, "Hey, y'all good with all this slander to Lamar? Why can't I say Josh Allen ain't that guy? Because he hasn't won, right? And that's the point. If the only thing you can say about Lamar is he hasn't won, neither has Josh Allen. Neither have the Bills ever.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how it works.
But more to the point, Attitude Pop, that's not what we say about Lamar. So
right.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly. All right. So Draymond Green is guilty.
Draymond Green is always guilty. I don't care what the topic is. Draymond Green is guilty of everything.
and I also want to say this. Thank you, Dandy. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Show some appreciation for the stream. Cash App $ LBHTShow. Also, you can hit up that chat box, the pin link in the chat box. That'll take you to our Streamlabs page. Also, the super chat as well. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is where you can find us after this show is done. For the overtime show, we're going to be talking about a video. It's an old video or older video, but it's been making its way around social media again, and I want to talk about it. I want to know how y'all feel about youth football players, young kids calling out their coaches, right? Do you think that's something that's cool, that should be allowed? They should be able to voice their opinions, or
Future
they need
leader
to know them? Huh?
Future leader of men.
Future leader of men, yes.
I do want to point out one thing, though, to support Draymond Green's argument, as terrible as that makes me feel on the inside. No one has lost to one player more in the playoffs than Josh Allen has lost to Pat Mahomes. So as long as Pat Mahomes is around, Josh Allen ain't the guy. But if there's ever a scenario where he doesn't have to play Pat Mahomes, he can be the guy.
And he said that changes things a little bit, right?
Yeah.
That changes things a little bit. He said, listen, there's only one guy, that's Pat Mahomes, and Josh Allen can't beat him.
Yeah.
You just got to eat that. But I can't. Hey, to be fair, neither can Lamar, right? But I can't stand players like Draymond Green that do the ring talk. They only do it because they were on championship team.
Pat Beverly was just talking about Trae Young, and he was talking about how he's overrated and he hasn't won enough to even talk about Pat Beverly. And he's like, he's been in the playoffs 3 or 4 times. I was in the playoffs my first 7 straight years. Yeah, man, on the bench or as a role player. Nobody care about Pat Beverly. Again, it's like guys like Will Perdue trying to jump into the GOAT talk because they got the rings. I can't stand it. Yeah, and it's always the most annoying people that do it.
Like Teddy Bruschi. That's Teddy Bruschi for you. I couldn't stand him.
At least Teddy Bruschi made some plays. Pat Beverly ain't never done anything. Like Russell Westbrook.
I mean, Draymond's made some plays too. I mean, Draymond.
No, for sure. I'm talking about Pat Bev. Pat Beverly. Like Russell Westbrook famously said, he got y'all fooled. He just be running around out there.
Yeah, he's be tricking y'all. But no, but Draymond is Teddy Bruschi, right? Good players. They contributed to a championship. But they were far from the reason.
Yeah.
Right. They were replaceable players. You know, in fact, I'll argue Draymond is less replaceable than Tay Bruschi. Tay Bruschi could have been replaced and they would have won. In fact, they did win without him. So, but they're similar. They talk like you don't know what it takes to be a champion. Neither do you. Right? Neither do you. You just did what coach told you to do. You did your job. Good, congratulations. But don't do all that ring talk. You're not on that level. All right. All right. Let's see. If they come with respect, then yes, he's still a child. Hey, well, you know what? We'll talk about that on the overtime show. That's going to be the topic of the overtime show.
That's crazy. I did not know what he was talking about. I completely forgot that you already teased that.
Yeah.
I was like, who's a child?
So the two ways you can get access to the overtime show, patreon.com/LBHTShow, or you can sign up for membership while we still have it turned on. $5 a month is all you need. We have other tiers. I'll get you some other perks, but $5 is all you need. That also gets you access to our Discord channel. And once you're in the Discord, you're in. Doesn't matter if you stay a member or not. We don't kick anybody out unless you're on that Adrian Broner type stuff. Okay. And we're going to talk about that in the overtime show as well. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of fun. Come check us out. All right. We're going to do submitted questions and then we're going to get out of here.
Okay. Well, as always, I possibly should have pulled this up before we got to this point in the show, but it's a quick thing though. I'm almost there already. So don't even worry about it. We're very close now. Very, very close. And I don't think there's any questions anyway. So
there are questions.
Okay, well, whatever. Let's see.
Do you want me to bring it up?
Actually, hold up. I have it here.
Okay.
All right. We've got from I told you to stop doing this, Jay. Weeks ago, I told you to stop doing this. And all right. He says, Brodny, I know there are two questions, but you can pick one. If you answer both, it's not my fault.
There you go.
This one's for you, Jose.
Okay.
If Tez gets another touchdown, should I get a shirt that says TD Tez and debut it on Reg's channel?
TD Tez. Yes. Not only should you get that shirt, you should get it on LBHTShow.com where we put it up on a merch store. I like it. TD Tez. Yes, you should get it.
All right. And he's asking me with AJ being AJ Terrell being out this Sunday, will Nalo being Tedderoa McMillan, put up 300 yards on them like Julio did us? No, he's not going to put up 300 yards. He is going to go over 100 yards for the first time, though. 100 yards and a touchdown for Tedderoa this weekend. Then we have a question from Eric L. Thank you very much, Eric. He says, greetings. Hope you're most excellent. Has Mr. Jackson lost some of his comfort level throwing to Mr. Andrews? My apologies for the late question. No worries at all. You are not Jay. You are just fine. He has not lost his comfort level throwing to Mark Andrews, I don't think. I just think the training wheels have come off. Earlier, he leaned on him just because he was the best pass catcher there. Lamar has morphed into his final form. He does not need Mark Andrews, and he shows that every week. I think that if Mark were still playing at a high level, he would still be throwing to Mark a lot. I think that's still his guy, but Mark has declined, and Lamar does not need him.
Yeah, he doesn't need safety valves. He wants guys that can stretch the field, right? And he has guys that he can trust. I think. But I don't think I know he just hasn't had wide receivers that he can trust, right? That last game where he was running out the pocket, that D tackle was chasing him down, or D lineman was chasing him down, and got a hold of his leg and he threw it, and you saw Zay Flowers run back to the ball and dive and caught it for the first down. We didn't have anybody on this team that did that before he came along, right? We didn't have all the wide receivers that they brought in. Nobody would make a play like that. We didn't have guys that would fight for the ball. What you saw DeAndre Hopkins do 2 weeks in a row, make those amazing catches for touchdowns. We didn't have anybody on the team that was going to play like that, right? And he did it 2 weeks in a row to show you that's not a fluke. That's what I do, right? Lamar didn't have that. So now that he has that, like B said, we don't need the 5-yard catch guy anymore. right? We don't need the big red zone target. Like they'll still use him. They'll use him in the red zone. He'll still get some touchdowns here and there, but no, that he's not going to lean on that anymore. We don't need to dink and dunk it and hope to get a first down on 3rd and 5. Like we know we're going to get the first down going down the field. So yeah, different offense thanks to the players that we upgraded and Lamar's maturity.
Mm-hmm. And that is it for this week.
All right, man. We finished strong. We still got 60 people in here. Smash that like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Share with your friends and loved ones. We are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers this year. Are we going to do it? We're going to try. All right. We put out more content. We hope that you guys are enjoying it. Share with anybody that hasn't watched this. The Ravens fans, Panthers fans, or just sports fans in general. Tell them come check us out. Appreciate you too, Kwame B. Thank you for coming through.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Overtime show. It's going to be a fun one. We'll talk some Cam kicking out Adrian Broner out the studio. We're going to talk about kids and their coaches. Should the kids be allowed to call out their coach if the coach ain't doing a good job? That's going to be a fun discussion. We might even have a special guest. We'll see. We'll see if he's available. Jay says, so just to be clear, I can't ask 2 questions anymore for this week.
For this week. Hey, you know what, man? Because we missed your stated date for the book club talk, and I do apologize for that. You can go ahead and continue to ask 2 questions for as long as you like. Yes,
book club. That's another perk of being a member. We
have to get up. We have to get that set up so we can talk about the ritual, and then get our next book picked and get that back on track. Yeah. But I do apologize, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that is the show. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Patreon members, YouTube members, get ready. The Overtime show is starting right now. Everybody else, have a great night, and we will see you next time.